Google was one of our main research engines that we used. It gave us all the information, and it linked us to a lot of websites that we used all the information. We also used Google to get digipacks, as there was a lot of artist digipacks on the websites and on Google Images. Overall, it was useful, but there were some downsides because the websites would be blocked from our computers and some of the information wouldn't be right when we looked at it. It was also easy to use Google on our phones and on our tablets, so we can get it anywhere, and you can get apps for it instead of just using the internet.
We used YouTube to research into actual music videos, such as past students, to gain some knowledge into what we would need to do and what would be required for us to do, and what stuff we should include and what stuff we shouldn't, to make our video really good and make sure we get the grade. We also analysed music videos to gain insight into what codes and conventions we would need to do for the genre of our music video, which was pop rock. So we looked at videos like Paramore, which is the chosen band that we decided to do, and also to get inspiration for costumes and locations which would fit into the codes and conventions that we chose. Overall, this website was really useful for us to use. There weren't really any complications apart from the fact that if we wanted to access it at school, some videos would be blocked.
SurveyMonkey allowed us to create a questionnaire which allowed us to get the information from the target audience, what they wanted and liked in our music video. With the questionnaire, we could find out information about the location and see where people would rather our location be to fit a narrative. We also got the ideas of all of the different costumes and what sort of thing they wanted the narrative to be set out like, which made it easier to create the best outcome. Overall, it was quite difficult to find the right people to get the questionnaire from, because certain people wouldn't like music videos and don't really watch them, so they don't know what actually happens in them. And getting ideas for locations, not a lot of people would know that many locations that is good for it, because if they didn't watch it. And getting the right age range of people to get a good questionnaire outcome was quite hard to get people to cooperate and do the questionnaire and fully explain what they would like to see in it, rather than they couldn't be asked and didn't really want to explain themselves, what they wanted, what they like to see. Overall, it will make us also help us create the perfect music video for our target audience, but also made it easier to record our research and everything onto it, because we could easily access it throughout wherever we was.
Used presentation software such as Prezi, Powtoon, Amaze, Pictochart, Visme, SlideShare and YouTube, because all the different websites, it all helped us give different ways of presenting our works, like codes and conventions and history of music video and all the representations that we did. Also, because all the different websites we used have different layouts, it gave a bit of diversity in our blog. All these websites allowed us to, because they have different layouts, it meant that our blog had diversity and it made it media rich, because it wasn't just the same thing, it was all different things. Powtoon allowed us to have animation in our presentation, which gave more variety to our blog, so made it even different from other posts, so it wasn't just the same thing. Pictochart allowed us to lay out, gave us a nice layout for evaluation, so you didn't have to go onto each page, it was just all there, and it give structure to our work. Overall, all the presentation stuff that we used allowed us to give structure to our blog, and it was easy to embed it, so it was all free, and it was all stuff that we could easily use, and we could use it from different devices as well. So
we chose to use a Canon camera because the quality of the picture would be better, and it also had features that the iPhone didn't, which was manual focus, so we could choose when to focus the picture and how quickly to do it. good thing about using this camera is that we had a lot of storage because we could buy more memory cards, so that was good for us because we weren't restricted when we were filming, so we could film as much footage as we needed and not feel like we had to just limit ourselves to what we were doing in the music video. Overall, this camera was really good to use and it was easy as well. The only downside is that the battery life was sometimes a problem. On certain days of shooting we didn't have access to a plug socket, so we couldn't really charge up the camera again to use it.
We used an iPhone to record all the behind the scenes, and we also used it to record all of the like audience feedback and stuff, and all the storyboard clips, because it doesn't matter about the quality for them ones, it was more about the quality for the music video. So using the iPhone was more simpler, so obviously it's always going to be on us and we can always quickly take the footage that we needed for the audience feedback whenever we was able to get some. Also, it was easy obviously because we've got it with us, instead of having to bring in the camera every day that we needed to do the audience feedback. Overall, the battery life was quite good on an iPhone as well, so it made it simpler to, it's always going to be there to use. Transferring the footage from the iPhones to the MacBook was simple because it's all Apple products, so it's easy to get it from iTunes accounts and through, like, it's just easier to get it onto the computer.
We used a MacBook was a big part of making our music video because it had all like the apps like iMovie that we could use like to edit, and like the internet upload, so we didn't have to put it on a different device. We could just put it onto one device and do it all the same. It was easy to connect the camera to the laptop and the MacBook as well, because you can literally just drag all the photos on and onto the desktop, and it's really quick and easy to do. And we could get we could do all our editing and using the photos, for our blog like quicker instead of having to like wait on like a normal computer. Also, a MacBook makes it easier to take like screen grabs from like the internet, like YouTube videos, for our representation or our textual analysis. So then we can just put it on the blog instead of having to like send the photos to the internet or do it like a long way. It just made it shorter. Overall, the MacBook was like easy to use because the battery life was good and it was like, and it had everything on it. But the one problem we did face is that because it's not small like an iPhone or an iPad, it was hard to like get everywhere, and we couldn't like take it everywhere. Plus, the fact that it's quite like sentimental meant that we couldn't take it everywhere. Well, we could only take it certain places.
We used iMovie to edit our music video, and we felt this was good for us because it did pretty much everything we needed, and it was easier because we wouldn't have to like pay for any other software, and it just did everything that we wanted, like the transitions and the effects, like the filters that we wanted, the black and white. The price of the app was only around £10, so we felt that was pretty reasonable for us, compared to like other editing software, which was like a lot more expensive, like £50. And considering it was quite easy to use on the MacBook, we felt that was fine for us to pay that. Overall, the editing software was really easy for us to use, as we'd already like had experience using it last year. The only thing that really restricted us was the fact that it didn't have professional qualities to it, really. It was just quite basic.
We used Ribbit and Fireworks to create the digipack and the music, to create the digipack and the magazine advert. It was quick and easy to use and easy to access throughout the school Wi-Fi. We had already used the sites before, so it was quite easy for us to, because we already knew how to like use them. Overall, it was quite time efficient because we already had learned how to use it, and the fact that it was quite easy to use made it easy, so we didn't have to really purchase anything else to use because it was already really good and basic to get what we wanted as the outcome. We thought that it was the main key thing that for using to make the digipack and the magazine advert, as it was really simple and easy to use, and that's all we really needed to make it. We didn't need any other software to create the products.
Mhm.